Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I heat my January off-grid greenhouse. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farms channel. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and checking out this episode on how I heat my off-grid greenhouse. Now you will note that I do have some grow lights in there. Yeah, the grow lights had been running off of the solar panels. And once I get the standby generator going, yeah, we're going to be totally off-grid. Totally. But right now we're a little dependent on some grid power, but that's okay. I wanted to share with you guys how to heat your greenhouse, how I'm heating my greenhouse in an off-grid situation. Let's go in. Oh, I might add, it's January. Middle of January, and it is cold. It's like 32 degrees out here. Let's go in and see how warm it is in here. Yep, it is warm in here. The thermostat says 60 degrees. So let me share with you guys what I use. It's real simple. It's really simple. I use this little catalytic propane heater. Yes, it runs on propane. I have it on during the evenings. Right now I have it on high because I want to make it warm in here for me, but I keep it on low throughout the night, and I do keep a window slightly vented. So I will be turning it down here momentarily, or turning it off, because I don't use it during the day light hours. Even though we're expecting snow, I'll just monitor the temperature in here and just make sure it stays above freezing and also stays warm enough for the seeds to be able to germinate. Speaking of germinating seeds, in the previous episodes I showed you how I planted radish in here, 2 different varieties. So I got kind of a control situation going on here because I'm doing something a little different as far as getting the seeds to be warm enough to germinate. Is I go into my house with my water, I fill it with hot water provided through my on-demand water heater, and then I water my plants with hot water. Well, the seeds, I water the seed with hot water, but I'm not watering this one with hot water. This is my control. This is regular water because I want to see how well the heat of the water reacts to my seeds. And of course, we've got all these over here that we planted day before yesterday, and I've been watering everything else with warm water. That way, it triggers the seeds to want to germinate and grow, and we'll see if they grow a little bit faster and better. And heating pads will work, but I'm trying to stay in an off-grid situation, so I'm making do with what I've got and trying to keep this going. I suppose a hurricane lamp with in a smaller greenhouse, just a hurricane lamp with or a kerosene lamp would provide the heat for the greenhouse at nights too. So you guys can be creative with creating heat for your greenhouse. Depends on how big it is. So try that, off-grid heating solutions. Now this catalytic heater not only provides heat, it also provides another necessity for plants. It's also providing CO2 for the plants. Have you heard of the Krebs Cycle? Yep. The Krebs Cycle is what shows how a plant converts the carbons in the atmosphere. CO2 rearranges the carbon molecules in atoms and turns it into sugars in foods and respirates water. So plants actually scrub the environment and create oxygen and water for us. So in greenhouses, since it's a closed environment, you need CO2 for plants to be healthy. Now, commercial greenhouses have these big machines that do run on gas, and they make CO2 deliberately for the plants. Now, the earth creates CO2 naturally just by the processes that go on in the earth's crust, like volcanism and other events. So it's going to be impossible to get rid of all the CO2 on the planet. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way we're going to get rid of all the CO2. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heater down. Yeah, we'll just turn it on low. It's only one little frame. And that's what burns at night. It's just that one little thing at night, and it conserves on the propane fuel. I don't need a whole lot. Well, if it gets too cold, I'll crank it up to 2. If it gets downright freezing, I'll go ahead and crank it up to 3, but I'll have to monitor it late at night just before I go to bed, and as soon as I rise up, I'll run out and look at it. I'd like to get one of those battery-operated alarms, freezer alarms. That way I can tell the temperature out here, what's out here, and it'll alarm if it gets too cold. It'll alarm and wake me up so I can come out and turn it up. And that way I can maximize my food growth and not lose anything. Of course, I never lost anything before. I don't recall ever growing anything in here in January, though. This year is a big experiment with growing things in the greenhouse every month, but not summer. I don't think I can grow things in summer, except I know Swiss chard grows in here year-round. I just open up all the windows during the heat of the summer, and my Swiss chard, they do great. I'm going to try to figure out what else I can grow out here that is year-round. There's a couple of things I want to do today here in the greenhouse, and I want to show you guys this cool little feature I built. I repurposed an old bathtub, and I built this frame for it, and then got some, cut some corrugated roofing tin, and decorated it. It gave this stand so much more rigidity. Now, all of this I got from estate cleanups, except for the bathtub was a feature that was left over from that old torn down mobile home that was on the ranch when I purchased it. This screen top I gleaned from a place we used to live, and it worked perfectly for setting over this bathtub. It creates an awesome work surface right at the perfect level for me to be able to do plantings and stuff. And the screen allows stuff I'm working with to go down and drop below. And also I can put other mediums down there. What the intention for this is vermiculture. I want to raise worms. And I got a screen in the middle so we can build up one side. Once that's full, we can move the worms over to the other side and clean out the organic worm material on this side. I do have a drain and a bucket to collect the worm waste that filters down through the system, and that we can water plants with. So this is my goal and purpose and intentions, to use this as a worm bin or getting into vermiculture. I spoke of this briefly before. I just had so many distractions the last couple of years and got so wrapped up and busy. But I'm going to go ahead and focus on that this year. I guess I don't need to invest much money into this at all, except for going down and buying some bait worms. Yeah, I don't think I need to order special worms for this. I know the bait shops do carry red wrigglers, and those are the best worms for vermiculture. So I'll just go down to my local source and purchase red wrigglers in the fishing bait part of it. So I saved some water back. You saw my pots here. I got some flower seeds I'm going to be growing in these pots. And then that way I can demonstrate to you how this convenient work surface helps out. By the way, these black barrels behind me filled with water, the sun will heat that environment, the water barrels up during the daytime hours, and during the nighttime hours, it kind of keeps the greenhouse environment above a chill. So I have these work to a point, but when it gets downright cold, those barrels don't freeze, by the way. They do not freeze because of this closed environment. It doesn't get cold enough for anything to get frozen solid. So it helps out with an off-grid situation. So I mixed some soil here with some fertilizer to give these pots or these seeds a fighting chance at growing. I have some alyssums. These are royal carpet alyssums. I'm going to plant these just around the edge. I'm not even sure if these are going to grow. I've got a bunch of seed given to me, and these were the seed that were in the group that was gifted me. These are portulaca, and I got some impatiens here. And then we'll just see what grows. And what doesn't grow, because I have these nice hanging flower baskets to place on the back porch, so my mother-in-law has something pretty to look at. When she looks out the kitchen window. So I'm watering them again with hot water, and we'll see how well this turns out. This method works out. This is an experiment. I haven't read anything about doing this, so I don't know if this method is even out there, if anybody else is using this, but I'm trying it. Yes, indeedy, I am trying it. Make sure that's well watered. And then I have an activity to do every single day when I come out here to water and just enjoy the environment out here. I may end up, with that heater going, I may end up turning it back on later today and painting. Actually, no. I want to go in the house and paint a picture. And I've got to go down to my publisher today and pick up my art that I have had scanned and had some giclée prints made from them. I'm going to go ahead and hang these right here on the end. Let's see. Hang this one right here. No, that's going to be in my way. Oh, let's hang it right there. And let's hang this one right here. There. Go ahead and turn that heater off, and then we'll just watch the temperature through the day. Yeah, it's 60 degrees in here, and the window was cracked to let some CO2 out and fresh air in because I'm in here. So if you enjoy my segments on the greenhouse and the garden, let me know. Gosh, it's going to be busy. I've wrapped up a bunch of stuff this year, and no, it was last year I wrapped the stuff up. Got everything done. The infrastructure's done on the Homestead. I've got a tractor tire I'm wrestling with trying to get it fixed right now too. Don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm in the Garden Series, showing you guys how I heat an off-grid situation with a greenhouse. Yeah, there's different methods you could use. One of these heaters, which, by the way, I did get from an estate cleanup, and or you can use a hurricane lamp, oil lamp, or a kerosene lamp. Depends on how big your environment is. And you just want the heat just warm enough to keep from freezing. Why don't you guys give that a try? And when you're trying it, and even watering with hot water your seeds, yeah, come back to the show and let me know how you guys are doing with your products and what you are growing. I would love to hear about it. Share it with the community. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. Please stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing. Then clicking that bell icon, that alerts you to new videos as I do process them and upload them. Also clicking that share button, it will share my videos on your social media platforms, introducing us to your viewers. And click that thumbs up button, like the show, that helps. And like I said, leave a comment. Remember, be safe and always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.